Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Lesboogie One-on-One Show right here on Fresh Nation Radio WJON. We are here. We're back again for another exciting show and another exciting episode as always. I'm so amped up and so excited tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You're in for a treat, and I'm telling you, we have a special guest in the house coming on a little later, and we're going to bring him on. And he's got some great news to share with us, and we're going to talk all about his career and what he's been up to. I mean, this man has longevity, and you'll be surprised who it is. But in the meantime, I'm gonna ask my co-host Dahlia Burnett, how you doing? And once again, it's good to see you in the
Good to
place
see you too. I'm doing good. No, let me not say I was doing good because y'all
Uh-huh.
was partying in Philly this weekend.
That's right.
Did not invite me. I felt like the
Oh.
orphan Annie because I saw the live streams on Facebook, and I said I should be there. And I even had a black dress that would have wowed everybody.
Oh my goodness, man! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think it's Tattletale's fault. He didn't
It's
mention that to me.
Tattletale's fault. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. What's up, Tattletale? What's going on, brother?
How y'all doing? Let me tell you something. My whole life, I've been the scapegoat, the black sheep of my family and everybody's family. Let me tell you something, Sugar Mama. Let me tell you something, Sugar Mama. You know you could have came. I don't know why you trying to play yourself. And plus, they had a lot of eligible single men up there, too.
Eligible single senior men.
That's okay. You get that life insurance policy, one foot on the banana peel, 1 foot in the grave.
Hey, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
I had me a ball.
Man.
I had all kind of offenses and misdemeanors and felonies on me when I went to Philadelphia. I had a ball.
Yeah, we had a ball, man. And brothers was sharp as a tack. Oh, we was sharp. We was sharp, man. We was like, it was a red and black affair. And, Tattletale, he came out there with his Tattletale hat on, and he had his black suit on and his bow tie. I couldn't let him show me up now. I couldn't let that happen. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
And the host was Rick Watson. Rick Watson, we just did the play Walking in the Rain at the Black Expression Theater in Queens. So we had to go out and support him, his 20th year anniversary in entertainment. And he was really, really happy that we showed up, Tattletale. And that's what you do. You show up and support one another. You know, it's a small world, and to get people, it's not just where you live at, it's all over the world. This thing is all over the world, but it's still a small unit of people in the entertainment business. So I was really glad to go out there because I had been promising him for a long time that I would go out. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Yo, you actually finally showed up." I said, yeah.
So I'll tell you what, Les. What are you going to do for my birthday? May is right around the corner. It's my birthday month. I tell everybody the whole month is my birthday. Tattletale knows. What are you going to do for my birthday?
Well, you come May 4th, come celebrate with us.
Right. That's what I'm telling you. You got to come out May 4th. May 4th. But let me just tell you about May 4th so we know. We're going to celebrate your birthday. You have to come out, right?
Okay.
Now, we got an event out there in Co-op City. It's at the ballroom. The newly renovated ballroom. They have state-of-the-art sound system, a new stage, new lighting, floors, bath. Everything is just beautiful, right? We're going to be doing a pre-Mother's Day event, also tagged along with the tourist birthday celebration, which that's where you come in, right? Now, this is a brunch event. Now, check this out. People don't really understand. What we do is we preserve a classic movie. The name of this event is called the Classic Black Movie Brunch and Day Party Series. Now, when people hear that, they think of brunches. This is not a brunch. This is a total entertainment experience. And let me explain very quickly what it is. We start at 12 o'clock noon, right? And when people come in, there's going to be a brunch meal waiting for them. As soon as they walk in the door, there's going to be a brunch meal waiting for them. And then we have vendors around for a little small shopping and would have some great items, some great things that they're selling. Right after that, or during that, when that settles down, we're going to show the classic film, The Five Heartbeats.
Okay.
Now, of course, people say, well, I saw that already. I see it all the time, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to see that again. No, you do want to see it again because you have never seen it where 300 people that know every line, know every song, know every step, are sitting around singing along, having a sing-along and sitting around meeting new people, and everybody's eating good food, and you're sitting there watching this classic film. Now, on top of that, not only that, we turn around and we have a full-blown concert. right? Right after that,
Mhm.
the point to start. But before that, we've got one of the stars of the movie of the Five Heartbeats who will be in the building. Our brother Leon is going to be in the building. Now, I've been to brunches, but I've never seen that. I've never seen the
Okay.
movie. I've
Okay.
been a lot of my life. I've never seen the star of the movie sit there along with me. So he's going to be there, and then he has a band called Leon and the Peoples. They do reggae soul, they do R&B, they do the whole nine. So he's going to perform, and then we have our own band, First Lady of Fresh Entertainment, Malika Mo, and the band of Soul is going to kill it. Then we got a young cat named Tommy Guns. He's out in he's in North Carolina now, but he's originally from Harlem,
Okay.
and he is a beast. He is the AKA Teddy Pendergrass for the old heads. And for the new cats and the younger generation, you got a little Johnny Gillingham, a little Dave Hollister, a little Christopher Williams. This kid is bad, and he's gonna woo the people. He's gonna woo the ladies. He's gonna serenade everybody. And then on top of all of that, we got the classic hit makers. One of my favorite groups of all time from the '80s, the group Surface, will be in the building. Right?
So when does this end? At midnight?
Oh, this goes from 12 p.m. to 10 at night. So for people that need to go to sleep, they can go home and come back. We might have some cots set up somewhere. People go lay down and come on back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a whole lot of fun. And the vendors are going to be there all day. But we also have now this the brunch part of it goes until 5 p.m. So from 12 to 5 p.m. So before you leave, we give you another dinner meal. Now check out what we have. We've got turkey wings, salmon, roast beef, chicken, roasted and fried, collard greens, string beans. We have a vegan meal as well. We bought a vegan meal, so people that don't, we got you covered, right? Now, once that's all said and done, and we do a quick cleanup, we go into our day party.
Okay.
Our day party. And we've got the legendary DJ Reggie Wells is going to be on the 1 and 2s. You hear me, Tattletale? You know Reggie. Reggie's going to be on the 1 and 2s with the world famous Brucey B. And that goes from 6 to 10. So it's a day affair. And that's why I say it's a total entertainment experience. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have a lot of fun. And what
I'm
people
tired just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be really nice. And we have a few surprises. We got a few celebrities coming by. We got a few surprises. We got a surprise for Leon. I don't want to say it because he'll hear this, and I don't want to blow it for him. But we got a few surprises for everybody coming through. We do giveaways. We also do a good raffle, nice prizes. You know, we've got some designer items that we're going to give away as well. So this is the 16th time that we've actually done this event. We did 2 during the pandemic online, and we did the other 14. This is the 16th, so we did 14 of them. 13 of them we did in person, 2 online. We did Cooley High, and we had Lawrence Hilton Jacobs online with us when we did that online during the pandemic. So this type of affair it is. So I employ anybody to come out there.
Playing? What time is I'm gonna be there for that. What time is Leon playing?
The show starts around 3:30. About 3:30. About 3:30. Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. I know you will. But if you talk about your birthday, you better come on and enjoy all this. So that's what it is. Let me just say to the people, if you need a ticket, go to eventbrite.com and just look up the Classic Black Movie Brunch Day Party Series, or just look up May 4th, pre-Mother's Day Taurus Celebration. And that's where it's at. All right. So that's a current event, and that's a promo for the show. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. So, Tattletale, what's going on, brother? What's going on with you, man?
Oh, man. I'm just I got a lot of things going on. Some promoters in Delaware and Maryland I'll be working with after the 4th, because they have me booked for the 4th. I said, no, I can't do the 4th, but I can do anything after the 4th. So I'll be hiking it down there, making people laugh. Still in negotiation with a major casino to bring comedy there once a month. So I'm working my magic.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Dalia, what's going on in your area with your people? Miss Williams,
let's see.
Your artist.
Yes, Allison actually leaves for Paris tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Nathan is doing Sea Breeze Jazz Festival this weekend. Najee is actually taking a break a couple of days because he's about to go off on the Dave Koz Jazz Cruise on the 28th he's leaving the 27th, I believe. So, but that starts on the 29th. Ryan Lavalette is packing his bags to come move to the States in May. And
Wow.
who am I missing? I know there's so much going on.
What's going on with Lamone? What's going on with him?
Lamone, actually, he was just in Bali. He was on vacation.
Oh.
I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
He went to Africa, now Bali. He's traveling now.
Yep.
Okay.
Taking pictures, putting them up on the, I'm like, wow. Nobody invites me anywhere. See, that's why I'm going to Portugal without all of you all.
Oh, no. And I know you're going to enjoy that. That's going to be a nice trip.
Yeah.
That's a very nice trip. Yeah, that's cool. When is that going on?
I am leaving the 13th. I'll arrive there on the 14th, and then I'll be back on the 20th.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Listen, any updated news that is important to the people? Anything going on that we need to discuss for our people out there? Anything important that you have on your mind?
Trump's in court.
Oh, yeah. Yes. How many felonies? 34 different felonies or something?
34 felonies.
What do you think is going to happen with that? What's really going on? Is this a show, a dog and pony show, or is this something serious going on?
Smoke and mirrors.
Like he's going to get a slap on the wrist. That's what
Smoke and mirrors. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. I when you got friends in high places.
So we have a president. We have someone running for the highest office here in the United States who's in a trial. Who's in a criminal trial, and people are going to still vote for this guy. I mean,
yes.
What does that tell you about the temperature of where we're at? I mean, if you don't see what's going on here, you got to be blind.
Incredible. And it's funny because they don't see anything wrong with what he's done. Now, mind you, I could care less who you slept with, who you sleeping with, it doesn't matter. But when you use funds that was supposed to be used for the election to pay these people off, or even if you pay these people off so that they won't talk, that's a problem.
Right.
He himself has said it. He himself has said it. That remember when the whole Clinton thing was happening, and this with what is her name, Monica Lewinsky. He had stuff to say about that back then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And people seem to forget. He says a lot of stuff and then does a lot of stuff.
So he's the ultimate con man.
He's the ultimate scammer, con artist.
Yeah.
And us from New York, we know the kind of person he is. And it really baffles me that with all of the things coming out, that people don't see this person for who he is. They really don't.
You know what? I just think that the way how could I put it? The mentality of them and us, let's put it like that. They just need someone to speak what they're thinking.
Yes.
Regardless of what he's done, regardless of his track record or anything. They just are really concerned about us. And they just need representation, and this guy's willing to say whatever they want to hear. And whether he believes it or not, or he's just doing it to get their votes or whatever, I don't even know how to take this guy seriously. But they believe in him. Now, this is so funny. You can believe in someone who is going to overthrow the government, right? And these guys are now going and getting prison sentences. He's still out here. What is he doing for those guys now? My understanding is supposed to be pardoning these. Once he becomes president,
he's elected, some of these people.
If he's elected, he's going to pardon these people. I don't know, man. He left them out to dry, and he's still walking around.
And he's the very one that said and they have it recorded, storm the Capitol, raise hell in the streets, storm the Capitol. So you incited this riot. You cannot deny that.
But he's going to say, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't, I just meant, protest. That's what he's going to say. This guy's got to answer for everything. Everything is fake and everything is, what have you. But, last thing I want to say on this, I just want people that are affected, because you know who we are, that are affected by this guy, period, man, to pay attention to what's going on. Let's get away from all the distractions and pay attention to what's going on in this political arena, because when we're looking at other things besides what we should be
Yes.
looking at. They're trying to slip something by us like they always do. And we need to pay
Absolutely.
strict attention to what's going on. Focus on that and understand what's really happening. Those that say, oh, I'm not really concerned and my vote doesn't count and this, that, and the third, you need to wake up. You need to seriously wake up and get involved with this and understand what's really happening, because if we allow this to go on, we're gonna go so far back in time messing with this guy, because that's what they want. That's what they want. So the higher ups, they're gonna back him up because he's pushing their agenda. He's pushing their agenda. So they want to keep us in a position like they've always wanted to do, and that's where it's at. But on that note, on a lighter note, we're going to bring our guest on. Let me just introduce this gentleman like this. He is he's a legend within his own right. He's with a legendary band, a legendary group that has been around for a very, very long time, making everyone dance, listen to their music. Really a historical group that has really, really put down some significant music, and he's still doing it after all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the Lesboogie one-on-one show, Mr. Felton Pilate. Come on, brother.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
All right.
Welcome.
All right.
What's up?
All right. How you doing, man?
I am blessed to doing doing great, man. I was before you let me in. I was listening to what's going to be going into your show, man. You started reading off that menu about the food, man. I started getting hungry.
No doubt, brother. No doubt, man. We got to get Funkshun. Got to get y'all up here in New York too, man, because
absolutely
significant stuff. So listen, let me ask you about this. Let's talk about Funkshun. Let's go back. Take us way back, as far back as you go with them. Are you original Funkshun?
I'm original Funkshun, yes, but Funkshun was called something else before.
Okay, take us back. Tell us all about it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take you back to before I joined the band. Right?
Okay.
I had there's always been a piano in my house as far back as I can remember. But I started off playing trumpet. I taught myself how to play guitar. And in the middle of me, first couple of months of me playing guitar, one of my neighbors, he was a junior in high school. He wanted to start a band. He was trying to compete with his older brother, who was a senior. And so he asked me would I join his band. Yeah, please. It sounds great. So we learned a couple of songs, and again, I'm relatively new to guitar, so I'm learning as I go. And he said, "We need to learn an Alfie for some fashion show we're going to do." And I was like, I'm 16. My voice hadn't officially changed over yet, and I could sing Alfie, Dionne Warwick's Alfie in her key. I'm like, I got this. I'm like, man, I love Alfie. Why don't you let me sing it? I didn't understand the protocols of how being in a band worked, right? So he says, well, tell you what, why don't you come audition Saturday morning? And he just lived right around the corner. So I walked over to his house that Saturday morning, and he played the piano, and I sang my heart out. And he looked at me and he told me, Felton, if I were you, I would stick to playing guitar.
I have used that line many a times.
Wow.
He said, I would stick to playing guitar. He said, because you will never, ever make it as a singer.
Wow.
I quit immediately and started my own band where I was the lead singer. And that's where Michael Cooper had a band called Project Soul. Right?
Project Soul. Okay.
And in my mind back then, we were competing bands in his town. In retrospect, no, his band was it, right? When my band broke up, Michael Cooper popped up at my doorstep saying, "Hey man, I heard your band broke up. You want to come join us?" I said, "Let me think about it." Yeah. Yeah. So I joined Project Soul. So we were a top 40 band in entertainment review with Project Soul Review in the Bay Area, and I joined in 1970.
Wow.
And until 1972, we were the local band. In 72, we were asked to be the backup band for the Soul Children on Stax Records. So we moved out of Vallejo, moved to Memphis. We're the guys familiar with the Wattstax movie?
Yeah.
That's us behind Rufus Thomas.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And so we stayed we stayed with them for about 2 years. We finally decided to go solo. Landed a record deal. The record company asked us to change our name because they were uncomfortable with the word soul in our name. But they wound up being okay with funk. Go figure.
Wow.
So then we got discovered by Mercury Records, and the rest, as they say, is history.
It's history.
Wow. How many members in our Can Function? How many members?
We had 7 original members. We Mike and I put the band back together again in 1993, and we have 8 working members on stage.
Okay.
So you're still touring right now, then?
Oh yeah. We took off for a while. I left the group in 86. I was hoping to get a solo career. Michael left about 4 or 5 months after I left, and his solo career worked out very well. Mine didn't work out so good. God had other plans for me. So when I quit, I wound up working in I had opened up my own recording studio and spent about 2 years working on my production and engineering skills, which led me to a guy named Stanley Burrell, who called himself the Holy Ghost Boy. So I wound up doing his project. He later changed his name to MC Hammer. He bought me out of my studio to go work with him exclusively after that first record that was supposed to be a demo of the first records. Those were rough mixes. He said, "Man, no, record company like just like it is, wrote me a check for $2 million."
Wow.
He bought me out of my studio, took me out on the road to go with him, and so that's how I wound up producing You Can't Touch This.
Can't touch this. Big record, MC Hammer. That's right. Congratulations, brother.
That's a classic.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yes. That's
nice.
So on production, I got to give out James Early, who started off being the second engineer at my studio. He came on the road with us. James Early and I co-produced Hammer's first 2 albums. Then James and I wound up doing 2.
Nice. MC Hammer. Tell us about MC Hammer. What was he like? How was it like being with him on the road? And what kind of guy is he, man?
That was exciting. Hammer was a very, I would say, energetic, talented, and very, very, very focused on this stage work, right? If you had gone to MC Hammer show, you'll notice that he had half of Oakland on stage with him.
Yeah, big entourage,
huge entourage. But that was exciting and different for me because not only did I do the albums in the studio, I was also a music director for the first 2 tours.
Okay.
So on the first tour, I was playing keyboard. On 2 Minutes to Quit, I was playing guitar. Right?
Okay.
And so, which is really different for me because when I first started recording Hammer, I didn't even like rap. I was not into it. But as a producer, I'm like, okay, well, I do what's necessary for the client. So I wound up studying other artists and just applied what I thought would fit to Hammer. And again, it worked out very well. And again, the rest they say is history.
Wow.
Okay. Hold on a moment, Joe. We're going to take a pause and come right back, okay?
Especially Douglas Jocko Henderson, the ace from outer space, who used to go back and forth between his home in Philadelphia and New York City to work. My co-worker at Super 16, the man who a generation of rappers looked upon as their idol. Hank Spann, we called him the Soul Server. My teacher, my mentor, the Dean of Radio, Hal Jackson, who taught me there are no big I's and little U's. That it's nice to be important, well, it's more important to be nice. The Chief Rocker, Frankie Crocker, who came to New York City from WUFO in Buffalo to WWRL, WMCA, WLIB-FM, which became WBLS. The King of Rock and Roll, Alan Freed, who was very important to me and my original vocal group, the Laddins, and whose style in my early days on the air I copied. Ralph Waldo P.D. Green from Washington, D.C., an Emmy Award winner for his television work, worked at WWRL's sister station WOL in D.C., and whose life and exploits were portrayed on the silver screen by Don Cheadle in the movie Talk to Me. Tommy Smalls, Dr. Jive at WWRL, whose shows at places like the Lowe State Theater and the world-famous Apollo Theater rivaled Alan Freed for attendance and impact. Ralph Cooper Sr., a man who I used to sit in on his radio show at WHOM and take requests for him. We called Ralph Cooper Dark Gable. You see, he was a movie star. He appeared in a film called The Duke is Tops that introduced to the world Lena Horne. Morning man extraordinaire at WWRL and WLIB, Eddie O.J., of whom the O.J.'s were named. In Philadelphia, the man with the goods was Georgie Woods. Also from Philadelphia, Reggie Levong. Reggie replaced Tommy Smalls as Dr. Jive at WWRL and later on would work at WNBC under the name Just John. In Chicago at WVON, which was owned by the Chess Brothers of Chess Records and whose call letters stood for the voice of the Negro, E. Rodney Jones, who had a profound impact on Don Cornelius of Soul Train fame. I worked in Memphis, Tennessee at WDIA, which was the home to not only one of the great radio personalities of Memphis, but he was a hit recording artist in his own right and alongside his daughter, Carla. Rufus Thomas, the big bad dog. We called him the Mouth of the South. These are just a few of the great radio personalities who unfortunately are no longer with us. But they left a lasting impact, particularly on people like me who, well, part of that last generation. We will never see their likes again. And
okay, we're back. We're back to the Lesboogie One-on-One show right here on Fresh Nation Radio with our special guest, Mr. Felton Pilate from the group, the legendary group Funkshun. All right, fellas, let's pick it back up, man. We were talking about MC Hammer, and wow, I'm looking at the your Wikipedia, 30 million albums sold, man. Wow,
woo, 50.
Yeah,
50.
Oh, 50
excuse
million.
me.
It's 50.
It's
50.
Wow,
It was.
Hammer y'all was killing it, man.
Yeah, we were doing all right. Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow. But you know, they talk about Hammer and they said, you know, he had a big major entourage and what have you. They said was he a generous guy with his people?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why he was broke.
Yeah. He would do things for some of his dancers and other employees that I've never seen anyone else do under those circumstances. You know, very generous, very, very giving. We didn't part under ideal circumstances. I had to sue him for the $5 million that he owed me.
Okay.
But he filed for bankruptcy. So
yeah, he just didn't have it. Yeah. Well, you know, but you know what I want to say too. The gentleman that told you never to sing again.
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing today? That's what I'd like to know. What happened with him? What did his career go?
We have not spoken
since then.
Since then, you know, I heard that he was playing a local band somewhere.
Okay.
But I've made myself a promise that when I do see him again, I'm going to thank him profusely.
No doubt.
For inspiring me to make that move. Because had he not told me that, I'd have stuck with him. I might not have started my own band. I might not have met Michael Cooper.
Wow.
And I mean, and yeah, I was supposed to be in his group and quit. I was supposed to meet Michael Cooper. I was supposed to quit Funkshun and meet MC Hammer. You know?
Right.
Well, let's hope that he doesn't give you a bill for that. Say, well,
right.
I was psychic. You had to pay the psychic bill. I had a crystal ball.
I knew I would spurn you on.
Right. Yes, indeed. So what else? What other projects have you worked on besides, for Hammer and what have you? What else? Because I know you do a lot.
I've written songs for Lenny Williams. George Duke. Remember he had an album called Dream On.
Yeah,
I wrote that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got a Grammy for working with Stanley Clark.
Wow, Felton.
Legend.
I recorded E40's first album in the same studio where I did Hammer's.
E40. Wow.
E40. The Bay.
I'm working on a project with the guy you interviewed last week, Howard Clay.
Howard Clay.
I'm
Howard Clay Jr.
The movie that he mentioned, the King of Rhythm, the Ike Turner story.
Yes.
I'm doing the music for the movie.
Wow.
So I'm so excited about that. That's
oh yes. And so are we. We're going to segue to that as well. But being you brought it up, I just want to let everyone know United Spirits with AP Rashad, Felton Pilate. It's all one family, Howard Clay Jr. and myself, Lesboogie Jones, all one family working on a few projects. But the King of Rhythm, the Ike Turner story, is exciting. Man, let me tell you something, Felton. I can't wait. I dream about it. I pray about it. And I know for a fact that it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. And it's actually happening as we speak. And just like you said before, you never know where you're supposed to be. God knows where you're supposed to be. And he's going to move you to where you need to be. And he's going to make these things happen, of course, by our efforts, making the right moves, being patient. Like you tell AP was talking to us about you when we interviewed him, and he was saying how you never let him give up when there's times where he wanted to stop. This is the gentleman, y'all, that tells AP, you're not going to stop. Keep going, keep going, no matter what happens. Don't get discouraged, because he's been at that story 20 years, but it's a great story, and it's a story that needs to be told. And not only that, the other projects. You want to talk a little bit about all of that y'all are doing in United Spirits. Tell us about that.
Okay, AP approached me. It was about 15 years ago. My manager, I think, was also working. Phil Arnold was also working with AP, and he hooked the two of us together. And so he wanted me to talk to me about doing music for all of his projects. And I'm like, okay, yes, I'd love to do it. I love the challenge. I said, but AP, here is a conversation that will never take place. Well, Felton, the movie's done and all edited, and we're just waiting on you.
Right.
No, that's not going to happen. So I asked him for the scripts for the multiple movies that he's done and the TV shows. And I've already started. Just based on, for instance, on the King of Rhythm. I know there's a lot of musical challenges. Ike was born in 1931, so I have to address music that he might have been listening to in his teens and 20s. For the stuff that the Ike Turner and his band might have been playing, so I'm gonna have to generate live versions of music. So there's a lot of study involved, and for original pieces. So Yeah, I'm trying to make it sound like stuff that would have been written back in the 40s and 50s. So I'm excited about the challenge. Yeah.
Right.
So
proud to be done.
Right.
when you prepare to write, how do you go about it? I mean, do you just listen to this music until you feel like you feel inspired to create your own music based on that? Or are you going to give it a little flavor of today as well?
No. For the purpose of, I'm going to call it musical accuracy for the film, I'm going to keep it all on stuff that wouldn't have been happening at that time.
Okay.
Right. So maybe once we get to the end of the credits, then I can introduce, some more modern
right
kind of stuff. Now my normal writing process normally doesn't start with someone handing me a script and says here, like when I'm writing songs, I've been inspired by a phone call I've had with friends. I've been inspired by things that people have told me. I've been inspired by real life events. It just depends. The lyrics could come from pretty much anywhere. Yeah. Music. Sometimes I'm just inspired by people that I'm hearing on the radio. For instance, I'm a big fan of Neo right now.
Right.
Neo, good artist.
Yes.
Kevin Ross.
Kevin Ross. People, love Kevin Ross. That kid is good, man. That young man is good.
Yeah.
So, I'm weaving back and forth there. But for instance, with Function, stuff that I write for Function, we have to balance that line between wanting to keep the people who have been our fans for years and give them a combination of what they're used to hearing with stuff that they'd be hearing on the radio today without selling out. What I mean? We're always going to have an up-tempo song with horns, with either me singing it or Michael singing it or both of us singing it, and a ballad, because one of the things that worked out really well for us is that we spent a relatively long time working as a top 40 band, right? So on stage between 1970 and 1975, we were playing songs by the OJs, the Commodores, the Ohio Players, Mandrill, and then we switch over to go to the Philly sound. We were all, and we had enough various voices in the band to be able to do Delphonics, Stylistics, OJs, Spinners. So we had a wide variety. And it's my theory that every single musician is a conglomeration of everything that he's heard.
Right.
So, for instance, when I wrote and produced a song for the Stylistics, they asked me could I do a song for them. I didn't tell them at that time, but there was a period of time. When Function first moved to Memphis, we only had 3 albums in the house. We had the album of the Soul Children because we had to learn their stuff because we're their backup band, and we had that first Spinners album, and then that first Stylistics album, right? And I listened to those 2 records constantly. So I was a huge Tom Bell fan, right? So I listened. I could have duplicated either one of those records. I knew all the horn arrangements, all the stringing. I knew exactly. So then when the Stylistics asked me, "Hey, can you do us a song?" I was able to draw from everything that I had learned by listening to Tom Bell and apply it to their song that I did for them. And the song is called "Keeping You to Your Promise." And if you check it out one day, it's me doing my Philly sound thing.
Okay. Legendary Stylistics.
Right.
So tell me, how did the remake of Love Train come along?
We didn't know.
You didn't.
We didn't
Okay.
know. Silk Sonic, which is Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, they recorded and just released it. You know that they're not required to contact us personally. They just have to contact the publishing company.
Right.
And
so did you just get a check in the mail? What? Said, oh, this is nice. This is real nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So Michael called me on Valentine's Day 2 years ago. Felton, have you heard this? Heard what? Good morning. Yeah. No, I haven't heard. And he sends me the link, and I'm listening to it. And I had to listen to it like twice before coming. I said, man, I'm loving this. I love what they did with it. I think they kept the original emotion of the song while adding some Silk Sonic flavor. And they were very tasteful. Love that version. You know,
it's a fun version. That's a blockbuster for them.
Absolutely. You know, and
that is always nice. That is really always nice when at least you know, for all the work that you did, to receive the acknowledgement, even though they didn't call you, you still received that check. So they didn't try to do anything there. But to know that we still appreciate your music and it's now being heard by a younger generation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important. That's important.
Michael and I had a chance to fly out to Las Vegas where Silk Sonic was performing and thank them in person before the show. Right.
How was that? How was that meeting? How was that to you? How were they?
I had my wife, Michael had his wife, and so we were escorted to a little room backstage somewhere. And we were waiting for about 5 minutes, waiting for Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars to come into the room. When they finally came into the room, the first thing Bruno Mars did was drop to his knees on
really
and start singing and sing Love Train.
Wow.
Cheers.
Wow.
Michael was going to get up. Yeah, I mean, one wonderful gentleman, you know, a wonderful spirit. And Bruno confided that they had been toying with the idea of doing Love Train for years, but wasn't confident that he could pull it off. And he also shared that Love Train and Funkshun was one of their favorite bands, and usually at rehearsals they would warm up with a Funkshun song. So I mean, that's so cool.
I think the album that they did really fit around that whole theme for that era. And I had it on rotation. I will admit I had it on rotation, and I just loved almost every single song. You know, every single song. I remember, you know, my brothers were teenagers when a lot of this music came out. So I was not as familiar with it as I should be, but I do remember listening to the whole Ohio Players and all of that and that was the era that they were doing. So kudos to them and good for you.
Very good. Very good. You know what, Felton? I heard when I listened to the Bruno Mars version, I heard the horn arrangements they did. I heard their horn arrangement a little different from what you guys did, or you know, it was but it was good. It was good. And like how you said, they didn't change anything. They kept the basic feeling, and it didn't go too far. You know, too far. They kept it kind of like in the pocket.
Right.
And but I did like their horn arrangements. That was really good. Kind of brighten it up a little bit too. But it was really consistent with what you did. So kudos to Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, man. That's really good, because those guys, man, they have old souls, because that's, you know, when you see them perform, they're doing that old school stuff, man. And they really are bringing that to the young people now and letting them know this is what's really going on. Y'all need to get with this. And
this is real music without the beat.
Yeah.
This is how you have a song. This is how you sing a song.
Yep. Really good stuff. What else, Felton, have you worked on? I mean, I know you can go on and on. What else? What else have you done? What's other Confunction songs too? That's another thing.
Confunction's last single is a song that I wrote and produced called "Smooth."
Smooth.
We're
Okay.
very blessed. It's our first time getting into the top 40 in years. You know.
Okay.
Are they loving you in the UK? Because I know in the UK,
yes,
they really love, classic music.
Yes, and as a matter of fact,
And I'm not going to call it old school because it's not old school. Classic.
Classic. Yeah.
3 singles that I released as a solo artist have done very well in the UK and Europe. I did a song called "We're Still Here," a song called "Waiting Just to Dance," and a ballad called "Here's What I Do for You." Yeah, so they all did well. We were so honored by Silk Sonic. I'll tie this together. That they basically said to the public, you know what? This song has longevity. This song is still relevant today. As you can tell, it worked out very well for them. So to return the honor, Confunction is in the middle of finishing up our new album. And so Silk Sonic honored us by recording one of our songs. We decided to honor Silk Sonic by recording
one of their songs.
Theirs.
Oh, okay.
This will be only the third time the Confunction has covered someone else's song.
Mm-hmm. Is it off the Silk Sonic album that you're doing it, or you're choosing it from something else?
No. I'll tell you, it's "Leave the Door Open."
I love that song.
Okay. I love that song. Yeah, it's a dope song, man. That's really, really a good song. Love it. That's great.
At its heart, "Leave the Door Open" is an old school jam.
It's an old school. So it's gonna be funny that you sound more like how it should sound because you bring that sound. People are probably gonna think you just did the original tune.
Leave the door open.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope. So we took the same approach. We pretty much left it as, but put some Confunction swagger on it. We added some additional horns, some additional string parts that are not on the original record. There's a sax solo at the end. So yeah, but for the first minute or so, it's like you're listening to the original record.
Right.
That's nice.
I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Definitely.
Let me ask you this. From that experience of having them cover your song, how has that helped Confunction? Because I'm quite sure it has. What do you see the benefit from that as?
We have had our concert dates have expanded exponentially. I mean, we have worked a whole bunch over the last year and a half here.
Okay.
And I'm seeing kind of a different kind of audience, and I'm so appreciative of that.
So do you see a mixture of generations in the audience?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Younger people. I got some younger people in the audience now.
Yeah. Talking about mixture of generations, you had mentioned that you had written a song for the legendary Lenny Williams.
Yes.
Yeah. Which song was that?
It was an album cut. It was called Drifting.
Okay.
Drifting. And as a matter of fact, I just wrote him a new song. He hasn't done his vocals yet, but he likes it. He's considering recording it. Naiji, you mentioned Naiji. I just finished doing a song for Naiji.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I'm going to call up and say, listen, I just talked.
Yeah, so it looks like I'm gonna have a song. I'm gonna have a song on his album,
on his next album.
Wow,
that's Felton. That's her brother. Naji is her brother.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
didn't know. Yeah. And my wife conferred upon him an honorary doctorate degree.
Then I did
Wow.
meet you. I met you at Birchmere,
Oh,
right?
oh,
The
yeah,
lifetime at Birchmere.
yes,
I
right,
was
right.
there for that. The
Okay.
honorary doctor degree in, was it Detroit?
Okay. Yeah, hold on. I said that wrong. She was able to she got him awarded the Presidential
The
Lifetime
Presidential
Achievement Award.
Lifetime Achievement Award. Yes, I did meet both of you. Yes.
Right. Okay. All right.
Small world.
I
That's
was
what I
the
was talking about
short
earlier.
You said you were the short one. Okay.
I'm shorter than Najee, that's for
Okay.
sure. He's
All
not
right.
that tall either. So
All right. Oh, wait a minute. You were the one
I
that led
walked
us
you
back
in.
to the.
Yes,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
walked
you're the
you
one.
in, yes.
I actually remember that.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
Isn't that something? Wow.
Small
world.
world. Small world.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
That's my alter personality there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Wow.
So listen, Felton, I want to talk a little bit about the AP talked about it as well, the Florida Film Festival. You were there, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that? And I know that you're doing some acting as well in some of these projects. Let's talk about that. Not only are you a musician, singer, you're an actor as well. Let's talk about that.
Wow. Music was supposed to be my backup. I wanted to be an actor. So when I was when I started taking college classes, I was taking acting and directing classes. I did a couple of musicals and acted back then. You know, again, music was supposed to be my backup, but when the Soul Children asked us to go with them, I'm like, okay, we'll come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But AP has offered me the opportunity to do some small roles in some of the projects and audition for others, you know. And I'm honored just to be given that chance. I am
Right.
so geeked about that. I'm really looking forward to it.
That's good.
Wow.
And you did something on the recording, the audio of the Harry Moore stories. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
That was an interesting project during COVID. We wanted to do something, so we took his script called "The Price for Freedom," and we got actors to act it out as a back in the day when they would do plays on the radio, right?
Right.
And so I wrote Lesboogie. You've heard it, so I wrote all the music for that.
Right.
But none of the actors were ever in the room at the same time. So everyone was just sent the script, and they would record their parts at home, and I edited it all together to sound like one continuous
Wow.
script. It came out really good. I'm quite proud of that.
Wow.
And I had a chance to do my acting
Right.
skills. So I played Ian on that, and that was I'm again very proud of that.
Very nice. Tell us, can you tell us a little bit about who Harry Moore was for those that don't know?
Harry Moore, he was very instrumental in getting people to sign up to vote, right? Very influential. He worked a lot with the NAACP, an activist for Blacks, to the point where he was targeted and they bombed his house. You know,
wow.
And it's again a story that needs to be told. In that script, they address a lot of the racism and how he was there when Thurgood Marshall had just got in, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that we get to put that on the big screen. That's a very powerful story about people fighting for our rights, Mr. Moore,
Wow.
deserve to be told.
Right. That would be a great play
Right.
as well. You know,
Yes.
that would be a great play.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't, you know, I'm quite sure many people do not know or have ever heard of Harry Moore. Now, where was he located? Where was this going on? Where did he live at?
I actually
Was it
I
Florida?
don't know. Was it Florida?
I think it might have been Florida. if
I
I'm not mistaken.
think you're I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah,
Mhm.
something like that. But you know what? I want to switch to this other project now, the Family Loyalty. Now you have a
Yes.
part in Family Loyalty. Tell us about that. And you talking
I
about
do.
some real stuff going on. Hey, you doing 24 or something, man? You on some secret agent stuff here, man? What's happening?
One of the central characters, and again, I'm thanks to AP for he wrote the part with me in mind, right? So the director might say, "No, Felton, you can't do this," but I'm on it. So the part they wrote in for me is a record company executive, right?
Okay.
Multiple gold albums, you know, and it has its own studio, has its own recording label, very Quincy Jones ish, right?
Okay.
But he also has a dark side, right?
Mm-mm.
That he's an undercover, I'll say hitman, and has been using
Wow.
using his music stuff as a cover, or to avert suspicion of what he's been doing on the side for decades.
Mhm.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
I'm again, I'm totally excited about that. You know, that's, I'm trying to figure out how I can do the music for the show and do the acting. I'm gonna be a very busy guy here.
Very busy, yeah. I'm excited about that as well because it's, you know, if anyone has ever seen the it reminds me of the series 24, where
Yes.
it's always like that 24 hours in a day, what goes on, so much goes on, and you're just waiting for the next episode to pop up. You know, you can't wait for the next episode. And I see that suspense and that thrill of suspense with this particular project, man, that'll keep
Yes.
people glued to the screen and waiting and wanting more and more. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's
Right.
pretty
Right.
cool. Talented young man. Go ahead.
I like the fact that the series is not just focused on one character.
Right.
There's like 3, 4, maybe 5 different sub stories all going on. They will all tie themselves together, you know,
Mhm.
by the time you got into the end of the series. But there's this 4 or 5 parallel stories all going on at the same time. And it's going to
Right.
be an interesting challenge to carry that off and maintain the readers, the watchers' attention and interest.
Very nice. What's next for Funkshun?
Oh.
Next show, what do you got coming up?
We're doing a cruise next weekend. It's an old school cruise. Let me say, Moore's Day and the Time are on the show.
Oh,
Cameo
wow.
is on the show.
Nice.
The Nuke
Wow.
is on the show.
Wow.
We're leaving out of I think Los Angeles, and it's next weekend, so we're going to be gone all weekend.
Nice.
It's a weekend cruise, or is this a week-long cruise?
Just 3 days.
Okay.
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 And then the following weekend, we're actually playing here in Atlanta
Okay.
Oh, okay.
at the Maple House. So
Nice.
still busy.
And that's good, man. And I also know you're going to be, I believe it's in October, you're going to be at the R&B Classic up at Kalahari. Is that correct?
I believe so. I'm gonna be honest with you. My wife Jennifer has taken over all of my scheduling and stuff. You know, I've got so much to go here.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to let that go. As I actually have to call it, baby, where were we playing in October?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice it was just kind of released and just so I can.
Yeah, I saw you on the flyer. Good friends of ours. That's their event each year. This is about, I think, the 16th annual R&B Classic weekend.
Yeah.
Actually, they went from a weekend to a week now. They started a week last year. We're doing weekends now. It's I believe it's from from Friday until Tuesday, something like that.
Okay.
And I saw you guys on the advertisement. So yeah, I'll be up there and I'll see you there too. God willing, you know?
Yeah. I'll see you there.
I always try to go in early, and if that's our only gig that weekend, I'll be there for the whole thing.
It's really nice.
I'm still a music fan. I still love
that's great.
to go watch everybody else.
That's great.
Yeah.
Right.
What is tell us some of your favorite groups. Let's do this. Let's start with your contemporaries, the people that you came up with, and then let's slide into your classic singing groups, because I know you like the stylistics and those people, and then bring us up to today. Who do you like today? Let's do it in that order if you can.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, when I first joined the band, I was mostly just doing backgrounds and stuff, and I purchased a trombone and taught myself trombone one song at a time, just learning it by ear. So for the first 2 years with the band, I was just singing, doing backups and stuff. Once we became the backup band for the Soul Children, because in the Project Soul Review, we had the band, and then we had a featured male vocalist, a featured singing group, and a featured female vocalist, right? So we didn't need to play any of that stuff while we were the backup band for the Soul Children. But then they started asking us to open up the show with a set of our own.
Right.
And so since I'm the last guy in and had a high voice, the songs that the former lead singer used to sing now fell in my lap. Right?
Oh, okay.
So I started getting a big appreciation for, like I said, the stylistics, mostly anything that Tom Bell did. Big influence. Santana was a big influence on me
Santana.
in learning how to play guitar. I'm a big Nile Rodgers fan.
I love Nile Rodgers. Yes.
Nile Rodgers has thank you, sir, for influencing me my guitar playing style.
Okay.
I enjoyed when we were a top 40 band. I really enjoyed playing the stuff by Mandrill.
Mandrill, love Mandrill.
Yeah. They had good energy. Stuff by War, and of course, now we only have 3 horns, but we love playing Tower Power stuff and
Tower Power.
Those
were the days, man. Great bands. Wow.
And of course, any group with horns. I mean, we're there.
Right.
We got it. Now then in later years now, like I said, I left Funkshun in '86. Mike and I put the group back together again in '93, and then it was during that period of time where I started getting an appreciation for other kinds of music. When I was out with Hammer, and You Can't Touch This was like #1 on the charts for like 7 weeks, and I told myself,
well, yeah,
I got nominated for producing album of the year, along with Quincy Jones.
Wow.
Okay. And I promised myself that whoever knocked us out of the #1 position, I was going to go buy their CD because I wanted to know where the country's head was at. It was Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks.
Wow. Isn't that something? Wow.
I was never a country fan, and I was like, dang it. Okay, well, let me just go buy this. And I listened to that album 4 or 5 times, and I said, okay, I get it. Yeah. I get it. the way they put the songs together, the lyrics, the imagery, and the words of, I totally get it, right? So then I began to appreciate certain kinds of country. Interesting story. There's a group called Lone Star that did a song called "Amazed." Are you familiar with it?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay. A big song for them. I don't know how you do what you do. So in love with you. And I heard that song. I still go do karaoke.
Hey, I think you really want to be a singer, man. You want to get on.
So I learned that song and I started singing karaoke, but I wouldn't. But I add little James Ingram spin on lead vocal. Because I first heard the song, I was like, "There's something different about this song," and I found out that song had presented to an R&B group first, and the R&B group turned it down, and Lone Star said, "We like it, we'll take it." The R&B group that was presented to was Boyz II Men.
Really? Wow. Boyz II Men, huh?
Several years ago, Boyz II Men said, "Okay, well, we messed up on that one. We're gonna go back and record it. Go find that and check it out. You need to go hear both versions, the original version of Amazed that's recorded by Lone Star, and then go listen to the version recorded by Boyz II Men." And it's interesting how you can if you think of a song as an artist palette, right? Mm-hmm. Think of the song as the canvas. The singer's voice is a brush. And that's a great way of looking at the same song, just painted with a different brush. I brought that to say I was a huge Boyz II Men fan. When they came out, the work that they did with Babyface, who I'm also a big fan of. So I started getting into producers more than the artists. So I began getting really appreciating, like I said, Babyface, Teddy Riley, as I mentioned, Neo. Yeah. So I've been following a lot of folks and seeing, because I have to keep track of that stuff, right? That if I'm going to continue writing, I have to stay relevant.
Right.
So
right.
It's a study project for me, but it's not unpleasant. I'm enjoying the journey.
Right.
There you go. See, a lot of artists, veteran artists, they try to come back out and they don't understand. Well, I don't know what they understand, but it doesn't sound like they understand that you don't have to change everything about what your particular style is, but you do have to bring some relevancy, some current relevancy to your music in order to stay relevant. To compete. Not that you're trying to be young, but you can't sound like you're back in 1975 and think somebody's going to try to really, buy those records. It's not going to happen. It really isn't. You have to upgrade your stuff and stay on top of the trends that are going on. It's like anything in business. If you have a business, you have to stay on top of the trends. If you're in fashion, you have to stay on top of the trends. Yeah. With anything in life, everything progresses. Nothing stays the same, and you have to adjust. You have to adjust in order to stay relevant. A lot of people don't do that. So when I got an album coming out, then when you hear the album, you say, well, wait a minute, it sounds like you did this 30 years ago.
Right.
For real. Right or wrong. I'm telling the truth,
Yeah.
And that's terrible. And then they wonder, this is why I see groups or I see individuals, artists, and they're singing. And I always ask myself this: you're singing the same 3 hits for the last 30 years. Now, I understand that the industry and the radio has changed. I get all of that. But aren't you tired of singing those same 3 songs? I mean, as an artist, for me, if to me, my inspiration is to be able to continuously create new songs that are hitting. You know what I'm saying? That's the challenge for me. If not just an artist of the era, but an artist for all times. That's where the greatness is. Some people are just for the moment. If you're truly great, you're gonna last a long time and you're gonna stay relevant. You talk about Babyface and all these different people. They stay relevant, and look how long they've been around. You know?
But I think I have to say this though. Those 3 songs though are what put you on the map. And so you have to combine your new stuff with your old stuff, because you're always going to attract people who want to hear the old stuff, but you have to mix it in. So artists who do that successfully, like the Babyface, and they're singing a lot of the stuff that put them on the map, but they're also singing new things. And so you have to find that good balance. Allison Williams still has to sing Just Call My Name. Melissa Morgan has to keep singing the songs that she sings, because that put them on the map. People still want to hear that, but they also want to hear the new stuff. So you have to be open to doing both.
Yeah. I never said don't sing your old stuff. That's that's not what I'm saying. And I'm saying exactly what you're saying. But if you get caught in a box,
right,
and you start to believe that I can't do anything other than my old stuff, that's what I'm talking about. Because a lot of them have lost confidence.
Right.
And I've talked to a lot of them. I know a lot of them, and it's like, well, they're not going to want to hear that. And just let me give you, for instance, BLS here in New York City. They play all of the old classics from these individuals, right? But the minute they put out a new record, they can't get arrested at the same radio station that plays their old stuff.
Yes,
now, there's something wrong with that. There's something seriously wrong with that, And you can go up there and bring the record and all that, and they'll be playing Fool's Paradise all day long, 3-4 times a day.
Right.
But the minute she'll come up with a new record and bring it up there, I don't care. They just don't want to play it. And it's not even so much that it's not a hit. It's just the way of the business today. There's a whole different way of the way the records are being distributed, how the radio stations are approaching this stuff. There's a whole different, everything is about numbers and analogs and how many hits you got and how many followers you have and all this kind of stuff. And and then you got a team of people. It's not even the DJs anymore. They have no power whatsoever. They don't play anything. They're told what to play. They're told what to play. It's on a board, and some 4 or 5 people sitting in a room make up the playlist, and you just got to follow it. So it's a lot different this at this time, and it's just not fair. So this is why I believe that like-minded people need to get together and put out their own music, create their own record labels, create their own radio stations, so that there is a platform for these same artists who are still very talented. That's my point.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You just mentioned something that's a wall that we've hit our head against for the last 15 years. Putting out new material. I mean, literally, you just said there's the radio stations that don't want to hear our new stuff.
Right.
They want to just hear the old stuff if they play it.
Right.
So what is the formula for somebody like Charlie Wilson, who has been able to bridge that gap with all the new stuff that he does? What in your mind, what do you think was the formula for him?
I think his record company, when he first got back, on track, was putting in a lot of promotion money, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not saying that that's a replacement for talent, but when you have a huge budget like Charlie Wilson's record company, then there's other people who don't have as much of a budget to do promotion, and so that gives not just Charlie, anyone with access to big promotional budgets. It seems to me that given today's music business, you mentioned before, there's people sitting back making decisions based on numbers and how many followers do they have, and how popular is their old song. Okay, well, we know that the listeners are going to stay tuned to the radio if they hear Love's Train, but how are the listeners going to stay tuned if it's a brand new song that they haven't heard yet? And it's important to us because we have a commercial coming up next,
Right.
Right.
right? And we want the listeners to stay tuned.
Right.
Very briefly, I want to address the fact that speaking for Funkshun, right? We don't always get to play our full show. We have been on shows literally over the past 2 years where we're the opening act.
Mm.
And their only evening is 30, 45 minutes, right?
Right.
So we have 4 gold albums and a platinum album, right?
Right.
Okay, we've only got 40 minutes to play. If you exclude the time taken to do our intro, there's the intro that brings those days. So let's say we got 40 minutes. Well, we're gonna be in big trouble if we don't play Love Train. Big trouble if we don't play Fun. We're gonna be in big trouble if we don't play Straight from the Heart. It would be trouble if we don't play Got to Be Enough. Big trouble if we don't play Chase Me. So now it's a matter of which songs do I leave out to play the new stuff.
Right.
Right.
It's
And you're stuck.
Right. Now, when we get to do our full show, we play everything, and I joke with the audience. I say, we can stand here and play everything that we can remember. However, at our age, that might not be saying a lot, but
It's all good, baby. It's all
gotta
good.
work it out.
I'm going to say something for you. Now, you said you don't want to say that it has nothing to do with talent. I'm going to say it for you. It doesn't have anything really, really, really to do with talent as much as it used to. I put it like that. If you have the money, if you have the money and you have the budget, they're going to play your music because you're buying advertising, you're buying promotion, you're doing all kinds of things. And this is why these so-called individuals who are out here now with these big names are out here, because they have the budget you talked about. So you don't want to say, but I'm going to say it for you. It's not about talent anymore. At the end of the day, it's about the numbers and what makes sense to these people who have the money. That's all they care about, period. And it's unfortunate. Now, listen, on this note, we're going to ask you, Felton. I'm going to ask you this last thing. I know that you talked about Niles Rodgers. Now, Niles Rodgers is a good friend of my family. My older brother's a musician, a percussionist. Him and Niles grew up together in the Bronx, and I know him very well. I remember a while back, you do a Sheik's review. Tell us about that before you go.
Again, during COVID, no one was touring. So I had a lot of time on my hands. So I actually had put together a tribute to Nile Rodgers and Sheik. So so we're talking about not just songs they did for Sheik, but for Diana Ross, Sister Sledge, David Bowie, Donna, and was that Daft Punk, right?
Daft Punk, that's right.
And so I'm playing it. We've got the whole stage show. I'm playing guitar. My wife is singing vocals. Done a couple of shows, but then again, it's COVID. So then I did I have a show that's a tribute to Babyface. I have a show that's a tribute to the Philly sound. So I'm talking about an 80-minute show with songs from the old days, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Spinners, Stylistics, Blue Magic, Ain't No Stopping Us Now, McFadden Whitehead, and who was the Tramps? The Tramps, yeah. Right. And then after I put that show together, then I have another 80-minute show that I put together that's a tribute to Rod Temperton.
Rod Temperton.
And for those who do not know the name Rod Temperton, so we're talking about Boogie Nights, Rock With You, Always and Forever,
Beast, Heat Wave.
Oh my God, Thriller. So
Let me ask you a question. Sorry to cut you off. Let me ask you a question. When do you sleep? Do you ever sleep?
On days that don't end in Y.
So he don't sleep.
My goodness, man. My goodness, brother. You are a busy man. Wow.
My dad just told me a long time. He said, "Man, Felton, there are worse things to complain about than being too busy."
Wow. Okay.
And all of my busyness ties into music, and music. It's not just what I do; it's who I am. So, my days are filled with fun. Every single music project, except one, has been fun. Has been fun. I love doing puzzles, right? So sometimes piecing together, if it's for the studio or for live stage, it's like a puzzle to me. I'm gathering the pieces together, fix them around so they fit. So I'm blessed to be doing something that in some cases I did for free. Now I get paid for it.
That's beautiful, brother. That's beautiful. All right. So listen, how can people get in touch with you, get in touch with Funkshun if they need to reach out? What's a good way to get in touch with you?
The website I think for Funkshun is Function, the number 4 real, and confunctionusa.com.
Okay.
Since I'm the only Felton Pilate in the United States, I'm so easy to find on social media. That's literally a matter of tapping in my name. I'm building my new website for my nonprofit. It's called Felstar Music. That's FELSTAR music.com. It's not finished, but yeah, I'd love you to go check it out. It's still in progress. We're still working on it. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming on. You got a lot going on, and we're looking forward to a whole lot more. We got some projects on the table, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. This is Mr. Felton Pilate from the legendary band Funkshun, and also from United Spirits. He's an actor, producer, writer, musician. I mean, he does it all. So, look out for him and look out for the projects. And we just want to thank you, brother, for coming on, man. The Lesboogie one-on-one show right here on Fresh Nation Radio. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right.